do I try? Okay. Okay, we ready? We ready? We ready. Okay. So, let's just go to Reddit. Okay, Reddit, reddit.com. Okay, so Reddit's the front page of the internet, and then we're just going to search for malicious compliance. And here we go. /. New HR manager pisses off hardworking employees. Mass complicitous. Years ago, I worked for an awesome company that understood workplace culture and fun. It was a huge part in keeping employees happy and productive. In our office, we often cycled to work and therefore needed to shower and get ready at work. That meant that sometimes we didn't get to their desk until after 9 a.m. However, nearly everyone worked back without being asked to deliver on deadlines. Management didn't care because they knew the work was being done and everyone always went over and above. Enter new HR manager. We've never really had one before, but we were growing, so we needed one. Within her first few weeks, she sent out an email saying that everyone needs to be seated and ready to go to work at 9 a.m. and that we needed to stop having social chats and gathering and getting ready at work. Or if we did, do it earlier. She never acknowledged the fact that everyone put in unpaid overtime. Cue mass malicious compliance. Everyone would start at 9 a.m. as per email and then leave at 5 p.m. Projects started running behind and clients started getting pissed off because their project was not being delivered on time. New HR manager was confused as to why the work was not being delivered on time anymore. People were starting on time. She made sure of it. Needless to say, upper management removed the rule and she quit shortly after. They all went back to our normal lives and would you know it? Projects were back on track. Don't walk into a new company and try to change something that isn't broken. The people revolt. Edit. This is my first post and I didn't think anyone would see it. I want to clarify that OT was never expected or forced upon us, but due to awesome management, cool products, and great perks, we didn't mind when we do it. Edit. I see a lot of people confused about why HR would be involved with such matters. In smaller companies in Australia, HR oversees a lot more than usual. It depends on the company, really. And this company was approximately 50 people. Okay, that was some pretty good malicious compliance, I'm not gonna lie. Malicious compliance. There you go. Okay, let's see the next one, let's see the next one, let's see the next one, let's see the next one. Let's see this. Dog half paid for being 15 minutes late. Cue malicious compliance. This happened about a decade ago in my first job. There was an IT firm in India. I'm from India. While work was interesting, the work hours were insane, and folks used to work 12 hours a day usually. We also had conference calls with our counterparts sitting in the USA, and ended our workday pretty late. 10 p.m. was my usual time. Due to this, folks used to come into the office late in the morning as well. Usually the entire team would only be in by noon. Management was not happy about this. They decided that everybody had to be in by 10 a.m. If you're not, then they deduct half a day pay. We were all salaried employees. Usually managers were supposed to enforce this, but they didn't care since they were in office with teams themselves. But occasionally, HR would stand at the entrance to the office to implement the policy. On one such day, I was 15 minutes late, and HR stopped me and informed me that I'll be docked half a payday. I stopped for a second, thought about it, and turned back. HR stopped me with a shocked expression and asked, "Where are you going?" I replied, "Back home. See you at lunch," and went back ignoring his feeble protest. I actually ended up calling my manager and just took a day off. After this incident, I heard similar such stories from many people, and HR stopped enforcing this policy. Corrected a few spelling errors now that I'm on the laptop. I could see them. Also, thanks for such a response, folks. My first post ever to get some traction. Yay! I don't really know if it counts as ASMR, so I'm just gonna wait to edit do. Well, this blew up. I just got up and have been reading comments for the last 30 minutes. Sometimes I think we are already in Orwellian future. You don't. Ooh, I want. Just gonna. Malicious compliance. My biology professor has such a chaotic energy around him. Last week I went to his office hours and somehow we ended up on the topic of gay marriage. He said that while he lived in Texas, they changed the law to define marriage as between a man and woman in a house or related to a ship with the intention to have children. So he filed his taxes as single, and when they called him up, like, you filed marriage last year. He was like, you changed the law. I was married by a judge in a courthouse, and I have no intention of having kids. And they told him, you know who that law was for. And I guess he hung up on them and did not, in fact, pay taxes as a marriage by that good. Chaotic good. Now this is lawful good. He's following the law. This is like how students are classifying. Always read blog for malicious compliance, folks. Okay, on the next one. Mutual malicious compliance classic. 71 cents are playing with this. Ooh. Okay, let's see this one. This is my story, but it happened to some high school classmates of mine in the late 1990s. Fortunately, I wasn't smart enough to be part of it. The AAP class calculus teacher had a tradition that held up for at least a decade, where if you brought your college acceptance letter, you'd be invited to his breakfast club. Essentially, instead of taking the final exam for this year, he'd provide transportation to the local IHOP, buy everyone breakfast, and shoot the breeze together. This gesture was a popular and welcome one. After all, these were the brightest kids in the school, top 10 including the valedictorian and salutatorian, captain of the debate team, and others. Taking the final exam when they were already assured their places in Ivy League schools was a pointless formality after all. The year the story happened, however, there was a new teacher who made a big deal about how unfair the breakfast club was. Funnily enough, her name's Karen. The school's registrar came in and told the class that they'd stay in school with everyone else and take the final exam, or else they'd face in-school suspension. The AP calculus teacher had his hands tied. So, on the day of the test, Friday, the whole class came in and took the test, which consisted of a single question. What's your name? The students looked up to see a sheeting grin on the teacher's face, and they perfectly caught on. Everyone filled in their papers, submitted them, and then they went off to IHOP. Perfect test scores for everyone. By the time the weekend was over, the whole school knew the story. Karen must have claimed he learned his role once more, because he came and gave in-school suspension tickets for the entire class. It's really an outsight to see the school's geniuses file into the ISS room and find their AP Calc teacher and volunteer for monitor duties, or swap with a normal monitor, or something. He brought like bags of bagels, cream cheese, white fish bread, and butter for everyone serving detention that day. Mr. Buckley, you're a legend. Such a good story. Such a good story. Do you like it? Actual ASMR. From my phone in Moscow. Is it volleyball 4.2? My character right here. So let's just practice. Yay! Yeah, that's just practice. Stop set. Oh, I missed that. I missed that. Oops. Okay. I'll go down to power. Oops. Oopsies. Yeah, just hit that. Oh. Okay, wait. Okay. So hit that. Okay. Hit that. Then we stop set. No. Oh. Oops. Oopsies. We just stop set. We hit it. Okay. Then we with another stop set. Come on, dude. I'm not setting to you. Yeah. Oh. You lost a buddy. That's fine. Sorry about that. So why don't we just go... So what stop set does is it basically just... Okay, so what stop set does is that it stops it in midair. So... okay. So stop set is when it stops in the air like that. Yeah, we all got it. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Gonna become impossible at some point, but let's just try. Especially with one person. Nice. Let's go. We're seeing straight. I don't like that, Chief. I don't like that at all. I don't like that, Chief. Easy. Okay, so let's just go on this. And then hit it. Okay. Let's just set it. And just hit it. Nice. Just go this. This. Okay, nice. Okay. So we're going to 10. Okay. I normally don't use spring because I suck. Just kidding, I'm pretty good actually. Oh, is this where it has to end? Or is this where it has to end? No, this is not where it ends. It's gonna be soon though. I promise you. Yep. This is where it ends. So there's something else I wanted to try. So we jump. Nope. And just go down. And then the spike. Okay. We have that. Nice. And then we just go like that. Nice. And then 10 hours. And we're just gonna like that. And then 11 power. And just go like that. And then just go 12 power. That one's like a point. So we just jump here. Down. And then we just go here. Now for the last one. This is harder than I thought. Okay, so I might have forgotten how hard this is. Yeah, this is pretty hard to do anything other than it. Okay, nice. Okay. So now what I'm going to do for this. Like that. Nice. And then go for E-cut. E-cut. Oops. Oopsies. Here's some more r/malicious compliance. Ooh, I'm confused. A complaint. I recently intended to move my server to a new location. I tried doing this with the help of an ATT representative, and somehow telling me creating a separate AT account. Oh well, I thought. I didn't cancel my old account services. All of a sudden done. 3 months later, a stack of ATT offer letters sent to my old location. Forwarded to my new location, about 2 cents per week. So with the waste period and the fact that I lost fiber, the offer letters they send, and changed my address on my old account, but I can't. Called AT&T and spoke with the rep. Can't remove mailing address, but you can change it. Fine. Texas. Just fine. Fine. 205 SA cards, St. Dallas, Texas. 25202, which is AT&T's Board of Directors offices. I can do that. That's something nice. That's compliance, not gonna lie. Exposed by my own I'm sorry. We just have to deal with this. Hey Reddit, I hope you all have a good holiday. I was certainly did for my roommate until 3 days ago. So one day after a certain holiday that involves presents and a tree, I was scheduled with a bag and cleaning. Basically a store clever cleaner. I was bagging and talking to a customer like I was taught by the training tapes. I was done bagging, the manager comes up to me and says, Mason, why are you LP, why are you trading tapes? Oh, why are you talking to customers and not bagging? I said, I am bagging, but I was following the training tape. She was having none of it, and following what she said made me a little mad. You have to be mute from now on, when you are working, not including your on your break time. So I had a thought and learned sign language. So when I got home, I did a quick Google search and looked up how to sign. The next day, I get my compliance ready, so I go on start bagging. I even sign, "Hi, how are you?" The lady waved back, but seemed confused. He was happening for about an hour until again the demon self comes up to me and says, "Customers are complaining about how you're doing weird things with your hands. Care to explain?" Since you told me to be mute, I'm gonna be doing sign language. She gave me a puzzled look and said, "Oh, I now see what they meant." Meanwhile, the next customer had hearing aids. I looked at the manager and gave her the 1 moment finger and pointed at the customer with said hearing aids. They're signing, "Hi, how are you?" He signed back saying, "It's been a good day." I was a little surprised and signed, I thought learning sign language for fun, and I'm glad I learned it." Later that day, I get called to the boss's office over the paging system. I walk in, and he said a customer gave a complaint about me learning sign language. I relent and speak and told him the real reason why, and to say he was shocked is an understatement. He told me to leave and continue my work. At the end of the day, my coworker said that was under investigation because she had gotten so many complaints about her. So Reddit. Reddit Award of the Year? I don't know. Okay. Okay. About 20 minutes. So what should we do? Okay, so what should I do? Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this stream is dumb anyway, so might as well talk to people during it. Okay. So, what should we do? My indecisiveness is not helping me here. Come on. Oh, so you see demo. I said I didn't like it because it was up and around sometimes. I'll try it. Yeah, it's because it was a dumb combo, so I hate it. This is M1. What am I supposed to press? M1? You're only supposed to press M1. That's press the keyboard. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? So let's M. Bro, I slipped. Bro, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's not a good game. So just not good. Next one, let's see. Oh, this also deleted on my malicious compliance. And my 3-year-old can apply my partner's domain. So his kid is 3.5, and it's really starting to flex their independence. It's absolutely something my partner and I are encouraging. Otherwise, it comes and bites us in the butt. This morning, the kiddo was exercising their independence by refusing to get dressed. I was at my wit's end, so my partner took over. Then they turned to the kiddo and said, "Go to your room and get in your clothes. It's time for school." The door closed, and then there was silence. For those of you without kids, silence from a toddler is never good. They popped open the door, and the little Beretta opened the bottom drawer of the dresser and climbed in and was standing in it. I'm in my clothes. I wasn't even mad. The little bugger won this round. How do you get outsmarted by a 3-year-old? Your partner needs to learn some common sense. Okay, let's see this one. Anyone since and penny was inside of malicious compliance. Here's $1. I'll make the 29 cents. This is me. Ooh, that's interesting, but I don't get why it's malicious compliance, OP. Oh, it's just r/pizza drivers. It just said malicious compliance. Let's see. Ford Motor Company. Let's see. Okay. More malicious compliance at Ford Motor Company. I said in my last post that I get some more stories from my dad's many years working at Ford. This was actually uncovered by my dad, and he had a hand in fixing the situation. After my old man moved up from being an entry-level clerk at Ford, he was posted to scheduling. This, as the name suggests, was the division that scheduled parts to be made for the next day's work on the production line. Stopping the line was bad. $4,000 a minute kind of bad. So you did not want to run out of parts. One day, Dad was called into the manager's office and given a verbal bashing by the boss. The production line was out of parts. Certain brackets have not been painted and therefore could not be installed. Dad was sure he had scheduled these parts to be finished that afternoon, an evening shift. Thought of nothing of it. Maybe there was an error, so he got them done by the day shift. Several weeks later, this happened again and again and again. Dad pointed out that he had scheduled these brackets to be finished by the afternoon evening shift, but the boss didn't want to hear it. The accountant informed him that afternoon and evening shift were doing extremely well. This was a scheduling problem as far as he was concerned, and Dad had to fix it. Wondering what on earth was going on, Dad went down to the floor. Looking around, he saw boxes upon boxes of those little lights in your dash that lit up, frangen tech or headlights. There were tens of thousands of these things sitting in the warehouse. Let's see if he says real quick. What's this? Oh, he's a driver. Okay. Upon further investigation, Dad found out that each production set and each part was assigned a value by account. He still has no idea how they came up with this value. The brackets that Dad was scheduling to be finished, each time selected low, had a very low number and took some time to finish properly. However, the little lights were very easy to manufacture and had a high value assigned to them. Counts determined the efficiency of production by how many parts they made on a shift, multiplied by the assigned value of said parts. If production finished the parts that Dad scheduled to be done, their revenue went down, and the production managers got a kick in the arse because of the number on the paper said they were doing a bad job. So to stop this, they ignored the schedule of parts to be made and just made these little lights that make them look great in the eyes of management whenever they had to finish these brackets. Never mind that it was stopping the production line every time they failed to finish the parts required. At $4,000 per minute, the eyes of management, production was doing a great job because the number on the paper said so. Going on for years, and it took Dad's months of effort to get management to evaluate production on the work to the schedule, rather than this value system made up from accounting. Ooh, another one. My dad is also long required from ago. He told me a story about how a coworker won a car in the employee suggestion program. This is another compliance story, but it does show the idiocy of entrenched thinking. I like this stuff, so, yeah, we're going to. Long ago, there was a brand of vehicle, not sure what anymore, that, due to a particular oddity of the engine design, had a very specific frame mod that took many separate processes on the assembly line. Eventually, the car was either discontinued or changed such that it no longer required that particular design. My company, however, continued to manufacture the frame according to the old spec. My dad and his friend, though at least tradesmen rather than engineers, saw that the additional processes were wasting time and money. So, as good employees, they reported it to the foreman, who told them to mind their own business. They wrote it up and submitted it to Chief Foreman, who told their foreman to tell them to mind their own business. They submitted to the plant superintendent, who told the chief foreman to tell their foreman to tell them to mind their own business. My dad, in disgust, gave up. His friend, however, pursued it by submitting it to Ford Canada. He got a call at home from someone at the EQ. He thought he was getting fired. Turns out his suggestion to eliminate the extra line processes would save tons of millions of dollars a year. Got a brand spanking new T-Bird. Yeah, that's just idiotic at that point. Like, there's just, you telling me this was has I've had money? No, it's the only way I've been doing it. It's fine. Yeah, that's just when you're done. Ooh, I wanna do this. Oh. Wait, I'm just gonna read this. I'm gonna read this real quick. I'm just gonna read this real quick. Oh, I mean, yeah, we're just not gonna read that. Karen, Sarah, so the Karen, listen. Yes, there have been tons, bro. There have been tons. Let's see what this is. Yes, I'm this kind of person. Oh, let's see who joined. Oh, he just joined. Oh, he immediately got to it. And then, okay. I'm kind of tired right now, actually. Hey, 34-year-old male. It's an easy thing to get out. Been out mentally since about 14. I understand that this doesn't work for everyone and may be too painful to face in person. Removing, removing my records hasn't been important to me until recently. Oh, it's a phase then. Not mentally since I was about 14. I understand that this doesn't work for everyone. Maybe too painful to face in person. Removing my records hasn't been important to me until recently. The church wants to make it harder for people to leave. Them doing this makes it feel it does have an impact when we do leave. They want to waste our time making it more difficult. Ooh. See, was this easy for everyone? Well, that's tough, buddy. Double malicious compliance? My first story on the subject, so please be kind. There. This happens more often than not, but this one stuck out. So I work at a casino. It happened about a year ago. They have kiosks for the guests so they can print their promotions, see what they have available. I'm normally the one on my shift to make sure they don't run out of paper and running smoothly. One day I get called to put a new roll of paper in a kiosk. As I'm making my way to the kiosk, I notice a guest on an event to print out something and that happened. Cast. Me and Karen. Hold on, ma'am. That kiosk is out of paper. Karen. No, it's not. I just saw someone use it. Ma'am, it is. The guest came to us and told us it was empty. Karen. Well, I'm almost done. You can wait a little longer. If you try to print, she cuts me off. Karen. I'm almost done. Just stand there and wait. Malicious compliance activated. OP. Yes, ma'am. I stand there and watch her print out at least 5 different promos and then come out. Then she looks at me. Karen, why didn't anything come out? OP. Because it's empty, like I tried to tell you. Karen, why didn't you tell me? Seriously? OP. I tried to, but you could told me to stand there. Dumb lady. Well, Karen. Well, what am I gonna do now? I don't have my tickets. Well, you're gonna have to go wait in another line to get them reprinted. Why do I have to wait in line? That's where my supervisor is. OP. That's where my supervisor is, and they're the only ones who can reprint them. Karen. I shouldn't have to. This shouldn't have happened. OP. It won't have if you just let me put a new roll in it. Karen. Well, go ahead and do it so I can print them out. OP. It won't work again. You have to. She cuts me off again. I don't want to wait in that line. Change the paper so I can get my stuff. Malicious compliance activated again. OP. Yes, ma'am. I changed the paper, but I take my time doing so. Can you hurry up? OP. I'm making sure it's feeding, okay? Karen. Once I changed the paper and close to the kiosk, she pretty much pushed me out of the way and tried again. Dumb lady. Karen. It's not on here anymore. Me. I know. OP. I know. You have to get them reprinted by a supervisor. Karen. Oh my god, forget it. I'm leaving. Me with the biggest guest service mouth. Sorry to hear that. Hope you have a good day. Karen flips me the bread and leaves. That was fun. guess waiting for the kiosk tonight definitely had a good laugh. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty nice.